Before we started recording, we talked about Haiti a little bit and your experience over there. Me and you were sort of chatting about like doomsday, if things got bad over here in the US, like earthquake or, cyber attack or the power goes out. Tell me about your experience in Haiti and what you saw there. I'm really interested in hearing about that.
Yeah, I want to say that was back in 2010 when I was with the 82nd Airborne. We were assigned as part of the Global Response Force. So we kind of had 2 sets of bags packed and were able to deploy anywhere in the world within 18 hours.
Okay.
You're not thinking it's ever going to happen.
Sure.
When you do a normal deployment, you have your orders to go months in advance. You got loans, bills, things like that. You can have time to set all that stuff up. I went home. I was watching Fox News and they said elements of the 82nd Airborne deploying to Haiti. And I went, oh my God, is that me?
Holy shit. And that's how you got your news.
I went to work the next day and they're like, get your stuff. You're going to Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Okay.
All right. I believe from my recollection, we started going 24 hours after. I was in charge of driving a Humvee. So we drove 2 Humvees up onto the aircraft. And I think I made it like around 48 hours after. Coolest plane ride I've ever been on. There was 2 Humvees and only 4 of us on there sleeping on the on the hood of the Humvee.
There was only 4 of you going over.
Yeah, all the other planes were jam-packed, but because we were in charge of the vehicles,
Gotcha.
They can only fit so many vehicles, on there. Landed in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, at the airfield. Spent the first night on the side of the airfield, and then obviously it was because of the earthquake. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night thinking I was dreaming that things were shaking. And I sit up and there's 100 other guys sitting up too with aftershocks.
Sure.
So that was kind of neat. I have a video of it somewhere. I took a Black Hawk. My unit, before I got there, the day before, probably had taken over a 9-hole golf country club. So I got a video of flying through over Port-au-Prince with all the rubble and everything. And there was anywhere from estimated 50 to 70,000 refugees on the golf course. And it was complete chaos.
So 50 to 70,000 people displaced from their house.
Yes, just on there. Yes.
Wow.
So our support personnel were assigned with handing out food, handing out water, completely reliant on us for that. Us as infantrymen, for the most part, were assigned security details to take medical teams to help, treat the wounded, things like that. One day I was in the gate guard with another soldier, and somebody looking familiar shows up, and the other soldier goes up and he's like, are you famous or something? And he's like, yeah, I'm Sean Penn.
No shit.
Yeah. So we did, I got a couple pictures with his staff. He brought a bunch of nursing staff and things over. So he stayed with us for a while, and we just went down into the rubble and assisted with the medical things. But we weren't there as a police force. We were there strictly as security to assist with medical help and to assist with handing out supplies and things like that. So you'd hear different crimes and things like that, and screaming and yelling going on at night. You'd see certain things if you walk down an alley where, people just didn't make it due to gang violence, things like that. So you just saw what it actually looks like for a total societal collapse due to natural disaster. And luckily the international community and the US, stood up and really helped out in that respect.
I want to go a little deeper into the whole societal collapse and how quick that can happen. So they had a horrible earthquake. People, no homes, food, water, clean water, sanitation, limited medical supplies. How bad was it? It would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for, like I said, the United States and the international community kind of coming together and doing that. But when you would walk down through those displaced refugees on the golf course, they would have a chopped up goat. No shit.
With just covered in flies.
No shit.
They would have some certain vegetables, things like that. Nothing clean. Nothing like that. They were digging big, huge trenches just for people to use the bathroom, the restroom.
Sure.
I want to say, from my recollection, I didn't get a shower for almost a month.
No shit.
To the point where like, just to feel cleaner, you're putting baby hair in your,
Sure.
or baby powder in your hair, rather.
Sure.
Just, but then we hooked up a hose, and then, 5-6 days later, we can't use it because the engineers said it tested positive for E. coli.
See, that's an interesting thing that I've read about these circumstances, and they say sanitation, and that is generally one of the top causes of deaths, right? Like sickness.
Well, look back towards Civil War, things like that.
Sure.
American Revolution. One of the top reasons for soldiers, even, Napoleon's army, things like that. One of the top reasons for deaths just within military is what? Is sanitation, disease through sanitation issues. So it's a huge deal. It's a huge problem that people that they take for granted, that they don't look into. Where are you going to put your waste?
Absolutely. And how quickly that adds up.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. We're going down through Port-au-Prince, and wherever we were in the capital, they had beautiful statues and things like that, and just trash everywhere.
Sure.
And people are living with just ropes up with bed sheets everywhere, completely displaced.
Did it get violent quick when people panicked? Or did that take time, or was it not very violent? Like, I know you had mentioned things that you saw and heard.
I can't officially speak to that through my piece of the pie, just because nobody was violent in front of us. You might hear, women screaming at night, things going on at night. There might be instances, especially of other guys I was with or within the unit that saw certain deaths and things like that. But I can't really touch on that specifically. Just like I said, we were walking around with gear and rifles.
Sure.
So
not the guys to fuck with.
Well, hopefully we weren't there for that. So hopefully not. Hopefully not. Yeah.
So you did also time in Afghanistan.
Yep.
How long were you there for?
Probably somewhere around 8 months total. I was late to the deployment. I was a replacement.
Okay. Yep. What did you do there? What were your duties?
Basically, I served all my time in the CAV unit, which they got rid of a lot of the LRS and LRP units, which are like long range reconnaissance. And they made all the CAV units a reconnaissance unit within a brigade. So each brigade combat team has their own separate reconnaissance unit. So it's a RISTA, reconnaissance surveillance target acquisition unit. So you have 2 elements of CAV scouts. I believe they're mounted. And then you have a few platoons of infantry dismounted. So when we went down there as a reconnaissance unit, we were in charge of an area of operations that was, for the size of our element, pretty large. And we were just down there basically to conduct combat patrols. We did some dignitary protection stuff, bringing farmers into areas, and basically just overall security for the region. So I arrived there. My nickname immediately was Val Candy.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, yep.
So that's where that came from.
Yes.
Okay, see, I never knew that.
No, other people have really cool nicknames and call signs. Mine was Val Candy.
Sounds like a porn star.
Yeah. Wait, I won't even touch on that, but this is good. But what happened was I got there in the middle of the night and I got all my gear on, and it was dark, and they thought I looked fat, called me a fatty McNiblets. And I was about 205 pounds. I was really into lifting. I was pretty fit. And my squad leader, who I actually, after 5 years, just recently got back in contact with, he goes, Val Kilmer was ripped. He goes, you're not fat, but you're not ripped. He goes, you kind of look like a fat Val Kilmer. He goes, John Candy was fat. Val Kilmer. He goes, you're now Val Candy.
No shit. That's so funny.
So that was, and I kept my Facebook name up until we'll get into my business. Once I opened up the business, I kind of wanted to link my own name to outside my, as you put it, my porn name.
Sure. So, sure. No, I know, obviously, I'm sure there's a lot that wasn't pleasant in Afghanistan. I'm interested, do you have a positive memory? Not about the overall experiences here, but a memory that sticks out of your time over there? Like you met someone, or some kind of super successful outcome, or?
It's really, honestly, it's more about just the camaraderie.
Sure.
you have nothing else but each other. And I want to say our forward operating base, we started off with about 50 or 60. And then towards the end, it was down to almost 15.
Why?
We were just branching off
gotcha.
to other areas. We had a few medical evacuations, mostly due to stress. But it's the camaraderie, and that's all you have. You don't have pressures of relationships, of bills, of anything else.
Oh, I see. Sure. So it's very simplified, but also things are amplified, obviously.
And deadly serious.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I was at the time, an all male unit. So there was no pressure of, like I said, relationships, of competition, and even the camaraderie is, there was guys I didn't like, and they may have not liked me.
Sure.
It's not people I would have hung out with personally, but you got each other's back.
Yep.
And I was, shortly after I got there, I was put up as the point man, and I kind of took that as a badge of honor, in terms of, I'm trying to protect everybody behind me.
Sure.
So that was, I would probably say, yeah, like I said, that camaraderie. And then, you kid up, you go out, things are deadly serious, and then you come back and it's all guys. So it's, you lift weights, you get ready for the next time you go out, and it's kind of horseplay after that. So everything's very simplified, and like you said, very amplified. But you have none of those outside pressures, in addition to other pressures of most of our issues were stepping on IEDs, losing arms, losing legs. So that's a whole different fear in itself of somebody shoots at me, I can shoot back. I can't protect myself from stepping on, an improvised explosive device.